it's Ma and me, and we're back for another episode and trying to get to know each other and bridge the gap between generations with great communication. So today's topic, I think, will be, since you're giving me pearls of wisdom, what would be a pearl of wisdom from an 81-year-old that you would give to the younger generations?
Well, I found out that if you never give up on what you need to do, even if you fail, and even if you're sure it's never going to work, if you know it's the right thing and you keep on trying, it does turn out good.
Yeah, even if it looks like failure?
Even if it looks like failure, because it's if you know you have to do something and you try to do it and it doesn't turn out. It's like learning to cook, for instance. You try something and it's terrible.
Yeah.
And so you just keep trying. It's learning how to handle things in life, because you try to do it, and usually at first it doesn't seem like it's working. But if you try and keep trying and keep trying, you can find out the ways that it works.
Well, but are there situations that maybe it is a good thing to give up?
Well, I suppose so, but by that time you're pretty flattened, right?
There's pretty much nothing left.
I mean, if it gets down to that, then you just have to say, okay.
Face down in the mud.
Yeah. But in general, if you know that you're doing the right thing, there's times that you can't have what you want to have. And you're never going to have that. So you have to find other things that you can experience.
Well, I think you hit upon, if you're doing the right thing, so we have to know our own values.
Right.
And hold to those. So we can only hold to our own values. If other people aren't doing the right thing, or you're in a situation or a job or community or in a relationship where something isn't doing the right thing, then
you have to know when it's the right time to say thank you, but no thank you. Yeah. And sometimes we don't know what we're getting into until we're into it. And then we're looking at it thinking, how did I ever get into this?
And we can only answer for ourselves.
Right.
We can't answer. People answer for their own selves whether they want to do the right thing or not. And everybody knows what the right thing is.
Right.
Even if it's scary.
Us, for you.
So courage. Having courage.
Courage, that's right.
I think that's really important.
And courage. Also to trust yourself. Trust yourself. If it really makes you uncomfortable and you really, really, really don't want to do it, you can find ways not to.
Yeah, have the courage to stand up for ourselves. Even when it seems like all the odds are against us, or people are threatening us, or we think we're going to lose something. But we have to learn, that is a very important lesson, I think, is a lesson of courage.
Yeah.
Standing up for ourselves and what we believe in and what our heart feels and what our values are, regardless of what our family and friends and people around us have to say about it.
Right.
We have to know what's important for us. Otherwise, we're just going to get steamrolled right over. And pretty soon, it's just a miserable life of living somebody else's dreams out.
Yeah. And I think if you're in a big family, you can be sure that everybody has their own feelings about things
too, yeah.
And so just because you're my daughter, you don't agree with me in a lot of ways. It's true. I mean, we have different approaches on things. And so I accept that and value her for who she is, and she accepts me. Finally, I think she's gotten to know me a little better from our discussions.
Yes, I understand.
But I think it's, I have my family, I couldn't understand them at all for a long time. They were very different, and you have to sit down and really pay attention to people and talk to them, and you'll find out that, gosh, I didn't know that about you, and I didn't know you felt that way about this, and it's okay. We're just because we're family doesn't mean that we are going to think the same.
And it doesn't give any right to steamroller over somebody else's what they want and desire or feel is best for them.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's the courage to be ourselves, and take a stand and know how to communicate, tools of communicate in a healthy way and stand our ground, not give up. I think that not giving up for me is that.
Yeah.
Standing my ground on what I know is true. I could care less if somebody else has got something else going on in their heads and lies and stories of whatever else they've concocted. I know what's true. And so I stand by that. And
That's
I
good.
think everybody should.
You sort of have to grow up into it.
Yeah.
It's not something that you have right away. It's something that
It's like a muscle.
Yeah, you have to kind of learn how to do it. And
it's a scary world. There's some scary things out there that will tell people they're wrong, or be very righteous about that they're right and you're wrong.
There's a lot of that.
There's so much of that. So if we're not secure within ourselves of our own values and what we feel, nobody in the whole universe can speak for how I feel and what I know my story to be. Nobody, not even you. And likewise, I can't speak to your story. So I think it's just a matter of respect and allowing people to be who they are and accepting them at that, not trying to change people.
Yes, I think that's right. And most parents have ideas that they want their children to be a certain way.
Which way did you want me to be that I wasn't?
Well, I never. I didn't really do that with you. Because
no, you didn't.
By the time, I grew up with a person who, for instance, didn't believe that you should wear makeup or have any jewelry or have any close relationship with men. Boys. I'm talking about growing up as a teenager.
Well, he was a minister.
He was a minister, and there's a certain reputation that, like we call them, preachers' kids have, and that's like they just go wild because they're raised in this very strict thing. They go to church, and everybody thinks they're going to be these sweet, perfect little children, and we're not at all. One of my preacher kid friends stole the Liberty Bell from the camp.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
All
right. Well, it's lessons learned.
Yeah.
Repression isn't.
It doesn't help.
That's why communication is a good thing. You don't repress.
I was in the children's library for years, and I've had children come up to me because they knew I was vegetarian, and they said, they didn't look at me, they just came over and got close, and they said, my parents make me eat meat and I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, I've heard this from children myself, yeah.
And I thought about this a lot. And I finally decided I would say to them, you have to honor your parents as long as you're home. And, you can talk to them about it, but when you get older and you have your own space, you can do anything you want.
Right, respect.
Yeah, you have to respect your parents, and they, then they wouldn't look at me. They just kind of withdraw. It was, some of these things are painful, and my own sister didn't like to eat certain things, and she'd hide them under the plate. Of course, the gig was up when the plate was pulled up, and she'd be sitting there all by herself at the table, eating this. It happened to be liver. She couldn't stand it. So, as a parent, you should look at that and say, that child really, I'm not going to put her through that if she doesn't really want to. There's other things she can eat, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And, So it's a give and take, and especially with your growing up period when you're learning things about yourself, and it's nice to have a little freedom to be who you are, even as a young person.
Well, isn't that really ultimately the true freedom, is to be our own true self?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a place, it's not things you own, it's not even the people around you. It's the ability to be who you really are, to feel your feelings and not be shamed, to think your thoughts and be appreciated, and to be able to express yourself openly and freely, and respectfully, but freely. It's true freedom, I think, at least for me. And it's always a tragedy if people aren't able, I find, that have people around them that basically have other agendas, and they don't have the courage to stand up for themselves.
It's true, but children need the support. They need the support and love of their parents and their family, so that they can grow into who they want to be.
Yeah, everybody needs love and support.
It's a process, and it goes on your whole life. You're learning your whole life things that maybe you look at yourself 10 years ago and you think, gee, I really am a little bit different person than I was.
We have different needs.
We do, and we learn things, maybe usually the hard way.
Yeah.
But it changes us, so we kind of, as we grow older, we change, and we may change the way we want to do things and think about things. So we have to be flexible.
Yeah. I feel I'm very flexible. I'm extremely flexible.
She is. She's flexible. I just thought I'd poke at
I'm very open-minded, and I accept people for what
she does.
I celebrate people being
very
them.
accepting.
I am.
Even when she shouldn't.
I am. I think that it's a treasure when you can see someone for who they truly are, and appreciate them for where they're at, and celebrate them, because a lot of people don't get to experience that. It's a type of unconditional love that, this world is so busy trying to control us and bully us and maneuver us and agenda us, and I feel like communicating is the opposite. We're going towards love and understanding and mutual respect, and I think that, and being honorable and honoring where people are at, and it just makes everybody, I think, feel better.
Yeah.
Right?
You can even do that to very small children.
Yeah.
And they respond.
Yeah.
They respond like little flowers when they know that they're being listened to, and they're being treasured. It makes it so much better as a child.
Yeah.
To have that kind of, like, you're just free to grow into any kind of flower you want.
Right. And to know you have the support of the adults around you. I think that's really important.
You do.
Because when you're a child, you need that backup. And I think if we don't get it as children, as adults, we end up looking for backup in all the wrong places.
You heard her.
And learning that we're our best backup as adults, but as children we rely on our parents and our adult friends.
Well, we I'm an old lady now, so I rely upon you.
Well, it's reversed now.
It's reversed.
It's all coming back.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing these for, is to learn to communicate and understand and have each other's backs in a respectful way. I don't agree with everything that you believe in, and you don't agree with every perspective I have, but we still love and respect each other, and we meet each other in the middle of wherever that is. I'll never force you, nor could I, nor would I force you to do something, and you wouldn't do that to me.
No, we always gave you.
We don't threaten each other.
You wanted. I took you to swimming class, and you refused to go. So
you threw me in. They threw me in the pool, though.
3 years, and finally the third year, you agreed that you would go. So you got in, and you had an unfortunate incident.
I almost drowned. Yeah,
it was terrible.
It was horrible.
She slipped and went.
Nobody noticed.
No, It was terrible.
Yeah.
The poor thing. I felt so bad because after 3 years, she finally wanted to go in, and then that happened.
Well, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So I think the little nugget for today is to believe in ourselves and let ourselves shine and have the courage to stand up for ourselves and for what we believe is right. And not being righteous, not forcing ourselves on others, but just simply letting ourselves shine and respect other people's shine as well. And if they want, they can shine however they want to shine. Right?
Right.
So I fully support you shining.
Thank you. I support you too. Look at her, doesn't she shine?
All right, well, so shine away. So if you have any questions or comments for Ma or me, put them down in the comments below.
Let us
we
know
would love to know.
What we should talk about.
Yeah, where are your hang-ups? What are the questions that you're too scared to ask the people that you love? Or maybe we'll even try out some questions on each other if you wanted to give us anything for us to ask and see what happens, like a science experiment.
You never know.
You don't know. It could go south.
It could go anywhere.
But anyways, until next time, check us out at thehealthtuneup.com and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.